Trust and faith. Give you a few examples of how that happened in my life and how God was intertwined in those situations. Undeniably, honestly. So when I was young, I would find money here and there. Now I wasn't very well off, and I was one of six siblings. So finding money all over the place was kind of unusual. I'd always bring it home and to bring it to my mother. And she noticed that too. Now, I still do occasionally, but at that point, I'd pray almost every day. And I was also in the gospel choir, so I'd even preach, you know, God's name. Uh, yeah, it was a great time. Don't anymore, unfortunately. Um, Second story example, I was hit by a drunk driver. Now, when that happened, I was 15 on my way to go and find my stepfather. And when it happened, right afterward, go to the hospital, and the doctor evaluated me and told me how baffled he was about the situation. He had several other patients that were there and that had just come in before me, and they didn't. They had broken bones. I only had a bruised spine. I was hit head on, flew over the car and everything. No broken bones. The third story, I was living in a very dark and impossible situation. Uh, just got out of a relationship, was stuck there for outside the relationship for a few months, and I was down in the dumps. I tried to find every possible way to get out of that situation because I couldn't leave the house at all where I was. And so I get an email, a random email from my retirement fund that I had forgotten about before I had left my old job. So I didn't have access to this. And there was money in there that I could use to move out of the place and get my own place. And I attribute that to God as well. You know, you get bruised spine, finding money everywhere as a child, and then we get to the point where I get the money that I need to get out of said situation to be able to heal myself, and then find God. You know, find out He was there all along, with me all along. So I want to use that as a testimony, as an example, as to the many ways that God can help, can be there, can be in your life. Because He's been in mine throughout my entire life. The story that I told, this, 20-minute story that I told? Yeah, that one is an example, a really good example of the many times that God stepped in and helped me out. It was because I had faith and I trusted Him, even when I didn't know that I had faith. And those acts of faith were in the things that I was doing. Helping out another person without anybody ever knowing, handing off money when I didn't have money for myself, always sitting around in somebody's corner whenever they needed me. All the acts of kindness that no one ever saw or thought about. That was my faith for Him. So, there you go.